Am I doing a bookshelf unhaul and talking about buying a book? You bet I am. Hi everybody, it's Audrey and welcome back to Chapter and Converse, and welcome to part 4 of Project Unhaul. So I am continuing my journey of unhauling my bookshelves. If you were here for parts 1, 2, 3, then you know I am on a mission to unload at least 40 books from my bookshelves to make room for the 40-ish books that I got. So when I did my first video, I feel like I was at 36 books that I had welcomed in over the summer, and maybe a couple more pre-orders came in since then. So initial target 40 books, but I am going to go until I get through all of my shelves, and hopefully we're gonna get beyond 40. So I did the first 3 shelves here, and then full disclosure, again, did I already say full disclosure? This has been a work week of sitting at a desk hunched like this, and what I really don't wanna do is sit down to do these 2 lower shelves. So we're gonna start on this side and do some of the higher shelves, but ultimately we will get to the bottom as well. I just needed to have a day where I am standing, and that's what we're gonna get into. So keep pile, let go pile, maybe I need to do research pile. We're gonna try and move it along pretty quickly and get right into it. Okay, book number 1, The Decagon House Murders. I read this. This is like an And Then There Were None. It's very dusty. I liked it. I'm gonna keep it for now. I enjoyed it. If you guys have been around this channel for a while, then Black Chalk has moved so many times on this bookshelf, and I probably have had more questions about this book than anyone, like any other book, like have I read it yet? The answer is no, but I'm gonna keep it because I do wanna read it. This entire pile is haven't read it, want to. All right, when I went down the Geneva Rose rabbit hole, I picked up 2 of her backlist books. So this is Last Day Alive and Dead Woman Crossing. I feel like these were her 2nd and 3rd books after A Perfect Marriage. Or was this even her 1st and 2nd books? Anyway, I am on a mission to read her to 0, and I haven't done that yet. So this is Detective Kimberly King, book 1 and 2. Has anybody read these? I am such a sucker for backlist of an author that I like fall for and reading them to 0, which is going to be a theme on this bookshelf, but these might even be her first 2 books. Anyway, very excited for these. And then 50/50 by Steve Kavanaugh. So your girl talks a good game after she read 13, and I'm going to read all of his books, and I've only read one other one. Although shout out to the subscriber who gave me the heads up about his book that came out in the UK. Am I doing a bookshelf unhaul and talking about buying a book? You bet I am. So anyway, we'll see. But 2 sisters on trial for murder. They accuse each other. Who do you believe? I need to read more of him. All right. And Then There Were None. So technically I have an Agatha Christie bookshelf in the other room. So this technically should go in there. But I have read this a bunch of times and I love it. It's like a little mini special edition of it, and we're keeping it. One of my favorite tropes, if you guys have been here for a while, anytime anybody does an Another Run-On trope, I love to check it out. And then I have The Christmas Appeal by Janice Hallett. So I read The Appeal a few years ago. Again, not a seasonal reader, but a book like this, like I definitely want to read it around the holiday times. And my best guess is it was not in my line of sight, and I didn't read it this past holiday season. So 2025 coming for you. And then I have John Searle's Her Last Affair. The Dust is not good. I want to read this. Laura Dave calls it tense and terrifying. I don't remember why, how, who put this on my radar, but somebody did. Every marriage has its secrets. It's always like a little scary. I don't know what I'm gonna find. Yep, there's books stacked behind. Okay, Happy Place by Emily Henry. Read it, loved it. This is gonna be a decent shelf, I hope. Bathhouse by PJ Vernon. I scream about this book so much. I am desperately still waiting for his next book to come out. It's been a couple of years. Bathhouse is fantastic. The dog ear situation is strong on this one. He, I want to say, is the Toastmaster at BoucherCon next year in Canada. I am really hoping he's got a book coming out, you guys. And then if you watch my fall spooky, if I made a TBR, this is what I would read video. Hidden Pictures is on it. So definitely plan on reading it this spooky season. If you haven't seen that video, bunnies, but it gets dark. It gets real dark is my understanding. This shelf is going to be a shame spiral. Okay, Look Closer by David Ellis. Definitely want to read it. Haven't read it yet. This shelf is not going to do me any good. Missing Presumed by Susie Steiner. This book has survived many an unhaul, and I feel like she's going to survive again. This is set in the UK. It's a police investigation. There's a grad student who's the daughter of a surgeon to the royal family. She's missing, and I'm pretty sure they find her in the water somewhere. Maybe? No, she's missing. She's missing. And then we see what happens. I'm mixing it up with the Bones episode. No judgment. But this is, I want to say, part of a series. It's only her second book. I don't know why I feel like she's written a whole ton of books. There's going to be a chance she might show up again. This was part of my thrifting stuff online. And then The Girl Who Was Taken by Charlie Donnelly. Haven't read any of his books yet. He's going to pop up a couple times on here. I absolutely bought his new book as well. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. High school seniors from North Carolina, and they disappear from a beach party one warm summer night. Also a favorite trope of mine. Somebody disappears from a party. Sign me up. This is going to make me sad. Oh my gosh, I haven't read either of these. Sophie Hannah, The Couple at the Table. She penned some new, like Agatha Christie Poirot's. And then I have read, I want to say at least one other book of hers. This is always so humiliating. She has written a ton of books. I've listened to a ton of podcasts with her. She's been on the All About Agatha podcast, which I love. But something about this book grabbed me. Honeymooners at a Posh Resort receive an ominous warning with deadly consequences. I feel like she's pretty dark and messed up, so here for it. And then The Ballerinas by Rachel Kalpaki-Dale. I haven't read this one yet, but this is also like a toxic female friendship and the Paris Opera Ballet. So sure, please, thank you very much. This shelf is... We're not even. We're not here to judge. We're not here to judge. Okay. Well, you guys can judge, but I'm not going to judge myself. Sherry LaPena's Everyone Here Is Lying. I haven't read this one yet. I've read a bunch of her books. I very much enjoy her. We saw her on this side of the shelf as well. So excited to read this one. I feel like I need to do a Sharon Bolton tally. I told you guys she was going to be on here. An old enemy is laid to rest and a deadly secret is unearthed. This is the sequel to The Craftsman, which I didn't realize when I bought it. Did I buy it because it's beautiful? Yes. Then I realized it was a sequel, and that might actually be in my bedroom from when I did like a 24 and 24 or a 12 and 24, and I haven't read it yet. It's fine. I think it's like a serial killer book. And then Terry Parlato, All the Dark Secrets. This is a Boston adjacent book, which is what drew me to it. She has since written 2 more books. I don't know if they all have the same detective in it. I kind of feel like they do. But in this one, we have a savage murder rocks a quiet Boston suburb. Yes. So I also had a request for suburban mysteries. So I know I haven't read this one yet or the Sherry LaPena book, but I feel like these are going to be good recommendations for that. But I do love a suburban mystery. Never Tell by Alifair Burke. I loved this one. Finally a book that I've read. This was actually the first Alifair Burke book that I read. And it was about like a private school girl who's found dead in New York City, cast in prep school. I didn't realize this was actually part of a series when I read it, so I went back and read the entire series. I have read almost everything Alifair Burke has written. I love her so much. This one's super dog-eared. I've read this one twice, and I just love it. So I have always said, like, sometimes I start a series where it begins. I even dog-eared the acknowledgement page on this, and I wonder why. I probably dog-eared the acknowledgement page because it lists agents. That's how long I've been trying to do this, you guys. It's been a minute. But this is a great place to start, I think. I really enjoyed this book. Really, really did. So anyway, oh yeah, and I wrote in it and everything. This was my heyday, you guys, when I'm like highlighting passages and underlining things. Makes me so happy. Makes me so happy. Don't let me forget I'm starting to stack books over there. We did that last time. All right. Oh man. Okay, Twist of a Knife, Anthony Horowitz. Haven't read it yet. I have read part of the Hawthorne Horowitz series. I just haven't read all of them, but I'm working on his series. And then I have The Marriage Act by John Mars, which I've heard great things about. I really love John Mars. I haven't read it yet. Remember in part 1 where I said a lot of what we see here are books that I haven't read yet, which is why they're on the shelf so that they'll be front of mind? That's what's happening here. Piles are getting precarious. All right, Jane Green, The Friends We Keep. This is very dusty. I read some Jane Green books back in the day, back in the heyday of I Roll Chicklet. And yes, Jemima J, that was her first book. I read Mr. Maybe, I read Bookends. I feel like I read Straight Talking. I don't know when I picked this up. This came out in 2019. I have not read this. I feel like maybe this one can go. It's not quite my wheelhouse anymore. We're gonna put this on the look it up to see what the general reviews are saying. They won't totally dictate my choice, but we're gonna look this one up. There's so many books hiding up here. Okay, next up, I have 7 Minutes Later by Bonnie Kissler. This is the UK version of this book. It has a different name in the UK than it does here. Don't ask me what the US name of it is. This is so old, there's a book depository bookmark in it. That hasn't been around for a dog's age. We have By the Time They Reach the Ground Floor, One of Them Will Be Dead. It's 2 women in an office building who get in an elevator together, which sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke. I believe we get like present and then we go back in time. But it says, one fateful evening, Lucy and Shay walk into a lift. 7 minutes later, one of them makes a phone call saying that the lift is stuck. When the doors open, one woman is dead. The survivor tells the police it's suicide, but with no witnesses and only her word for it, is she telling the truth? I feel like this got a lot of hype. We're gonna hold on to it for now. And I will put the US name for you guys. All right, T.M. Logan, Lies. What if your whole life was based on lies? I always loved the cover of this. I haven't read it. Always loved the cover of this book. And we have Joe Lynch is just an ordinary, happily married man until one split decision throws his life into crisis. He sees his wife having a confrontation with family friend Ben. All I can think of is Friends with Phoebe in the hospital when Ross's wife is having the baby and she's like, hospital worker Ben. It's the first hint that she's been lying to him about everything. And when he steps in to protect her, a harmless shove knocks Ben to the ground. Oh, and he's not moving. That's not good. I have not read this. I think we can let this one go. No disrespect to TM. This is from 2017, and this is absolutely a book depository purchase because of the size of it. I have probably had this since 2018. And then we have Before We Were Strangers, a love story by Renee Carlino. I was listening to a very old episode of Bad on Paper over the weekend. I was trying to listen to podcasts for some inspiration for goal setting and like writing inspiration. So I was listening to some of their old episodes. And Becca, one of the hosts, was talking about how she had read this book. It's from 2015. And I was like, I absolutely have it. And then here it is. How funny that is. I'm going to hold on to this one for now. A Missed Connection. It's a second chance romance. Because I do like to, palate cleanse from the pile of jargon messed up books. So we're going to hold on to that one for now. We're going to hold on to both of these too. Okay, first up is Fashion Victim by Amina Akhtar. I have at least one more of her books. This is Bitches Get Stitches. Hashtag Fashion Victim. This is supposed to be quite funny, and I have no good reason why I haven't read it yet. It's a devilishly dark take on the fashion world, and it's Heathers Meets The Devil Wears Prada. Also in my online purchasing heyday. It's from again, back to haunt me. It's from a public library in Portland, Oregon. So we are, going to get to this one. It also has like generally large font in it. So that's good. And then I have Firstborn by Will Dean. So one of my friends at Thriller Fest was telling me how she just read this. I bought this from Murder by the Book in some online purchase. Look at me go. I haven't read any Will Dean yet. He is absolutely back here at least one more time. and I'm going to keep it. I got to see him at Thriller Fest. I didn't meet him because I chickened out, but I'm going to keep this book. It is a twin book, and anyway, I heard great things. My friend Lisa said it's fantastic, so we're going to keep it. Cheers to Goldie. I'm not going to have a win on this shelf. I can already tell. Okay, Twisted by Steve Kavanaugh. Full of Dust. Haven't read it yet. And this is, before you read this book, I want you to know 3 things. 1, the police are looking to charge me with murder. 2, no one knows who I am or how I did it. 3, if you think you found me, I'm coming for you next. After you read this book, you'll know the truth is far more twisted. Gosh, he's just fantastic. He can write a book. He can write a book. Okay, then I have The Paris Diversion by Chris Pavoni. Haven't read it yet. I've read a bunch of his books. This is not one of them. I'm like, is it? Is it dog-eared? I haven't read The Paris Diversion. Nope, haven't read this one yet. And, you know, someday I will. And then, we're not getting rid of, like, not anything on this book. Okay, then I have Look What You Made Me Do, and the sequel, I Told You This Would Happen. I've heard great things about this. I don't even remember when I picked this one up. These books have been here for a long time. And let me see what the first one says. Carrie wants a normal life. Becca wants to get away with murder. But first they have to stop a serial killer. 13 bodies are discovered in their small town. Yikes. Big yikes. Big yikes. Okay, so we're keeping all of these. The like relentless... Not happening. Okay. I don't know if this is popular or not. The Locked Door by Frida McFadden. I got rid of Housemaid Part 2, or whatever the second Housemaid book is, in Part 1 of this video. So, or Part 2. I don't even know where it was. Anyway, I'm gonna let this one go. I'm a little bit burnt out on Frida, and all of my libraries have her books, so I can still get them if I want them. So I'm going to let this one go. No disrespect, I'm very excited to see the movie. The trailer just came out. And then I have The Night We Burned by S.F. Kosa. I feel like this is a cult book. Her past was in ashes until it came roaring back once more. Yes, please. So she's a fact checker for an online magazine, and one of her co-workers starts to look into her hometown, a deadly fire at a cult compound, and all of Dora's carefully spun deceptions are suddenly at risk. If she can't stop the story, her entire life is on the line. This sounds similar-ish to Olivia Mentor's new book, Little One, that's coming out in February. Love a cult book. Love a cult book. Then I have The First Mistake by Sandy Jones. I haven't read it. You can see these are all Book Depository purchases. I went on such a binge. I feel like my library has her books. I don't think I've read any of her books. I know The Other Woman was a big one. I feel like I let that one go already. I'm going to let somebody else love this one. Dark Places by Gillian Flynn, not getting rid of it. I read this years ago. I would love to reread this one. This was one of the first audiobooks I feel like I listened to. And I would love to physically read it. I've read Sharp Objects a few times. I've read Gone Girl a few times. This one I only read the once, and I feel like this could be a fun reread at some point. I mean, I can't even read the books I have, so maybe don't reread, but you know what I mean. And then I have Fever Dream by Samantha Schweblin. I remember hearing about this somewhere. Experience the blazing surreal sensation of a fever dream. A young woman named Amanda lies dying in a rural hospital clinic. A boy named David sits beside her. She's not his mother, he's not her child. Together they tell a haunting story of broken souls, toxins, looming environmental and spiritual catastrophes, and the ties that bind a parent to a child. I feel like this is probably a quick read, but at the same time, this no longer appeals to me. So I think I'm going to let this one go. I can't think of the book I'm trying to think of, but I read a book a few years ago that felt like a fever dream, and I did not enjoy it, so I don't think this is my wheelhouse. So it can be somebody else's. I thought we were going to end on a high, but there's books hiding behind it. So first up, all four Carolyn Kempness You books. I have read all of them. You, For You and Only You, Hidden Bodies, and You Love Me. I love me some Joe Goldberg. None of them match. It's all haphazard. And it's totally fine. It's totally fine. But I love this series. I love these books. So I'm obviously keeping these. I will dust the shelf. I just need a place to put them. And then last but not least, so here's my Agatha Christie. And then there were none. I'll read any book that's like it. This is Nalini Singh. There Should Have Been 8. I haven't read it yet. I bought this back when Penguin Random House used to give you like credits for when you bought books and then you could buy free books. This was like one of the last books I cashed in. So maybe someday I'll read it. I'm a monster. And then another Sophie Hannah book, The Next to Die. This one is about what? A psychopath the police have dubbed Billy Deadmates, yikes, is targeting pairs of best friends, killing them one by one. Before they died, all victims received a small white book, blank except for 2 lines of text, different messages chosen specifically for each victim. Well, that sounds creepy as can be, and should be great. Should be great. Like I said, I do love Sophie Hannah. I need to give these a shot, and if I'm not going to, I need to move them on. I feel like I remember hearing great things about this. Part of me thinks I should look up both of her books just to see what's going on. I want to keep this. Like, I want to keep this, and I want to read it. Ugh, like Tana French says, it's like a nightmare coming to life. Come on. Sounds perfect. Okay, that research took longer than expected. I am going to get rid of 7 books. So I'm going to let both the Sophie Hannah books go. Mixed reviews, double checked. My library has it. So ebook and audiobook. So we're going to go with that. Jane Green got a little bit of a mixed bag. Some people said it's depressing. I don't have room for depressing right now. I mean, sometimes I really do, but other times I don't. So, and then all the other books I talked about. So Frida, Sandy, Fever Dream, Lies. So 7 books going, which I'm shocked. And then I did do some research. So Paris Diversion is the sequel to Expats, which was his first book. So, because I did have a beat of like, maybe? No, keeping it. 7 minutes later, the US version is The Cage. Hopefully I already told you that earlier in the video. Somebody said it has early Grisham vibes, so it is a law firm. I'm gonna keep it for now. Missing Presumed, I would say, was a little bit mixed, but enough positive that I'm going to hold on to it for now. So we'll see. I talked about this when I did the first pass. I could do another pass when I'm done, and maybe other things will move, but we'll see. Ditto on The Last Affair. It was either people loved it or didn't. I feel like I'm just going to get rid of it. I think I'm just going to get rid of it. My library has it. My library has it. I am going to hold on to John Mars. I have a bunch of his books. This is on the more speculative side, which I much prefer his dark messed up with the exception of the one, but for now I'm going to hold on to it. And anything else, nothing else was in debate. So let me just put these on the shelf before we put on some of the books I made room for. It's already bursting. I absolutely thought I hit record and did an entire conversation and it was not recording. Okay, 7 books that get a new home. All books I haven't read yet, and then New Sarah Pimborough and We Live Here Now, also getting a new home. So made room for 7. I just need to fit them on the shelf, so hold on. The way I keep thinking I hit record and I'm not hitting record. Okay, so a total of 8 books are gone today. That brings me to a grand total of 23 for 4 shelves, which is pretty good. So I'm not mad about that. And we're gonna keep on cooking. So hopefully you guys will come back and join me for shelf number 5. And hopefully you guys will come back and join me for other non-unhaul videos. And until then, take care, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being here. I have lost my mind, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.